A great way to organize projects, particularly when you have long sound bites, is to use subclips. For example, if you have a long interview and you're reviewing it and you want to pick out sound bites, little segments of audio, you can mark them as subclips, and later on you can track them down very quickly rather than look through the entire interview to try to track them down later. There are two kinds of subclips inside Premiere Pro. They don't have official names, but you might want to call one a hard subclip and the other one a soft subclip. I'm going to show you how to make both kinds of subclips here, but I think you're going to decide to use the soft subclip approach from now on. So to see how this works, go to Working Files, open up Projects, and then go on down here and open up Using Subclips. This project has two video clips in it. They are not long interviews from which we're going to pick two little sound bites. They're in fact relatively short sound bites to begin with, but I think you'll see how this works by taking a look at these two sound bites here. We'll put both of them inside the source monitor. To do that, I could double click on them individually, or I could click on one and shift click on the other, and then right click and say Open in Source Monitor, or I could drag them both to the source monitor. When you put them in there, they always show you the last one at the bottom here, so I'll go to the first one here, number 2. And I want to play this and find an in point and an out point for the soundbite inside this video clip. I'll play this here.
We're losing it.
So that's the beginning. We're losing it. So I'll have this be the in point. This is the in point marker there. Click that. Puts the in point there. Now I'll play it to the end.
We're losing it. You're losing that bend and you're losing that activity because it's taking too long.
Okay, that'll be the out point. So I'll click that for the out point. And this denotes the subclip here. To make the subclip, I simply right-click here inside the source monitor and choose Make Subclip. Or I can go up to the Clip menu and choose Make Subclip or use the keyboard shortcut Control or Command U. That opens up the Make Subclip dialog box. I'm going to change the name of this one here. Soundbite number 1. And now I've got this little checkbox here, Restrict Trims to Subclip Boundaries. This is the default setting, which I think should be the non-default setting, but that's how it starts off. I think you're going to eventually not have this thing checked. What this does is it creates a little subclip where the in and out points exactly match this and don't give you any option to use head or tail frames. I'll show you what I mean in a second here. I'll click OK. That adds that subclip to the project panel. Now, the subclip is not a separate video file that's somehow stored on your hard drive. It's just markers that are stored inside the project file. Just little numbers. The numbers mark the in point and the out point of this video clip. It's all it is. So it doesn't really expand the size of your project all that much. But it does make your life a whole lot easier to have these little subclips. Let me put the subclip here inside this sequence. Let's drag it over there. And you can see a couple things there. Notice that there are triangles at the end and the beginning. Those triangles mean there are no head or tail frames. In other words, you've got this clip here and that's it. If I want to extend it, I can't. We're stuck. And that's the hard subclip. Now, we're not exactly stuck. There is a workaround. You can right-click on this guy and go on down to edit the subclip. It's down here a little ways. There it is. And you can extend the start and the end. So I'll take the start back a little bit. I'll take the end forward a little bit. Now I'll click OK and watch these triangles here. They go away because now we do have head and tail frames. I'll drag this to the right just a bit. We can extend it to the right a bit now. If we want to say a little sound under as we go to the next clip, or have a cross dissolve, we now have that option, whereas we didn't before. And now we are to the end there, the newly delineated subclip. We can do that as well here. Get to the end of that one. So this is a hard subclip. You can extend the beginning and the end by editing it, but it's kind of cumbersome to do that. So let's do the easy way, the soft subclip approach. Let's go up to this guy again. Look at number 4 here. Find an in point for this one.
Good.
Let me back up a bit. There's a good endpoint right there.
Well done. Yes. All right. That was the best one you've done so far.
Okay, that's a good out point there. So now I've delineated that subclip. I'll right-click here and say Make Subclip. And I'm going to give this one a name as well. We'll call this one soundbite number 2. Now we're going to uncheck this guy here. We're not going to restrict the trims to the boundaries. Click OK. It doesn't look any different here in the project panel, but when I drag it over here to the sequence, you'll see it does look different. Let's just drag it here to the right of this other one. Let's expand the view a bit there. You can see there are no triangles. It's telling you that, okay, that is the length of your original subclip. I'll go to the beginning here.
Good job.
Go to the end.
Done so far.
So that's the actual beginning and end that we marked here, but now we can easily extend this without having to edit it. So this soft subclip approach, I think, has distinct advantages over the hard subclip method. So I think you can see that subclips are helpful. You can create them as you review your video and then easily track down the good stuff that you want to use later when you create your finished project.